Hey guys, and welcome to our training video for all of our volunteers and staff for Central Iowa Bible Camp. If you are watching this video, that means that you are going to be coming and helping us out, and we're so glad to have you. First of all, let us introduce ourselves. This is Emily.
Hey guys.
And I'm Mike. I'm the director at the camp, and Emily is our administrative assistant and in charge of all amazing things that she does. But we're really glad that you are giving some time and going to serve at our camp. It's going to be a great week of your time and with the kids.
Yeah, you guys are the biggest part of what makes this camp happen. And these kids are greatly impacted by the leaders of the week. If it wasn't for you, the camp just wouldn't be nearly as good. And a big part of you coming and leading is not just what you're doing, whether it's songs or teaching, or if you're leading games or just a cabin mom or a nurse, whatever it is, it's that you are there. So one of the first examples would be like, as soon as the campers get there.
Absolutely. So when the campers are coming in, they're checking in, they're going through our dining hall and the check-in station, but we're going to give you a shirt to wear. It's bright blaze orange. It says volunteer on the back, and that will just tell everyone that you are somebody who knows.
You can't hide.
Yeah, you can't. It brings you right out in the middle. And so with that, we want you guys to be a part of the check-in process. So whether you're at a cabin that you're going to be a cabin mom or a cabin dad of, or you're near the chapel or the carpet ball station, wherever you're at, you're there to help them get camp figured out for the very first day. Some of these kids, this is their first time to our property.
Yeah.
Especially if you see them walking around with like a map in their hands, like just looking lost, go find them and help them and help their experience in the first hour at camp, especially with the parents being there. That will mean so much to all of them. But again, it's not so much about your specific task. Maybe you're a teacher, maybe you're leading a game, whatever. That's definitely important, but secondary to just being present and being a part of making this camp a wonderful experience for everyone.
Mm-hmm. When you first interact with the kids, it's finding out what their name is and then repeatedly saying it to them.
Absolutely.
That helps you remember their name. It's finding out something that interests them, maybe connecting some campers to make friends, especially if they don't know nobody. So really get in there. That may be uncomfortable for you if you're not like a people person, but definitely get in there and get to meet those campers right straight out of the gate. And also with that is setting some solid boundaries that first night of camp. Once you have set those, it makes the camp go way better. Way better.
Absolutely. Yeah. If you let the kids run around like crazy the first night and bounce off the walls and bring Mountain Dew into the cabins, like it's not going to go well. Okay. So have some simple guidelines that when the lights go out, okay, you can talk a little bit, but we're going to sleep, because the honest truth is we're running so hard throughout the week. These kids need to sleep. It's hard the first night. The first night will be your toughest night, and there's no question, because they're excited. They're back at camp, or they're here for the first time, whatever it is. They're excited. They're ready to roll, and you're like, I'm exhausted from just bringing my stuff into the cabin. But get some sleep, get some rest, and that way you can be more engaged as the week goes on.
Yeah.
So a couple of things that we kind of have as some expectations of you for being a volunteer for this week is again, just riding along the same lines of, we want you to be involved throughout our program, throughout the time that you're here. We want you to be engaged. Now, we understand and we fully get that like sleep is hard and you get tired from all the activities and things. So if you need a break, we are the first people to tell you, go and take a break. Tell your other group leader or your other cabin mom, dad, hey, I need to go take a minute and I need to go get some caffeine. There's coffee pot running all the time in the dining hall. If you need something, just ask and we'll be happy to help you with it.
That might be like the best thing you can do for the kids that you're leading. Absolutely. By you taking a little break, what you need, and then coming back in, being the most patient version of yourself, most energetic that you can give to them by taking a break.
Absolutely. Yep. And that just that interaction throughout just manifests in all the activities. Participate in the activities. You might not be the greatest kickball expert ever, but you can go and participate. You can go be a part of it. When we have chapel times or campfire times or whatever, we really would like all of our adult leaders to be in the chapel service with them. We want you to worship with your kids. We want you to pay attention to whoever's speaking and be attentive and just set some of those examples and those precedents. And it really helps if all of you adults are crowded in the back of the room and you're talking or whatever, like it's distracting from what's happening up there. So be engaged and be plugged in throughout all those activities.
And when you sit in the chapel around the kids, you can help the speaker and the worship leader, whoever is trying to teach something, lead something, by interacting with the kids if they are talking, to be able to say, hey guys, so that the speaker isn't distracted or doesn't have to be that person.
Absolutely.
Another way to be just around the kids and make sure that you're present is to stay off your phone as much as possible around the kids. We ask the kids to not have their phones out at our camps, and so we are asking you to set that precedent. Take pictures, use your phone in that way, but to just be sitting scrolling on your phone or whatnot around the kids, try to prevent that as much as possible.
We understand sometimes there are family things, there are emergencies, whatever they might be, but generally, if we want you to be plugged in and engaged, that's the reason we're here, and it's really helpful for the kids. Another thing that we really try hard to have at camp is this really positive atmosphere. No matter where you're at, the people you're interacting with, whether it's in the lunch line, whether it's in the cabin, in the chapel, we just want an overall positive experience for everyone being there. And so sometimes as an adult leader, you are put in situations that may not have a strong positive nature to that situation. And so what we want to really encourage you to focus on is to respond, not react, right? And in those moments when a junior high boy, throws a stick at another kid, like let's not yell across the parking lot. Let's figure out a way to talk to them and work through those situations. Let's not just knee-jerk react on an instant. So each individual situation is unique. You kind of have to work through them, and we are here to help you along that way if there's anything that you need throughout that process.
And speaking of that, if you see any fighting, picking on, bullying of any kind, we have in our booklet a 3-step approach to it. First is trying to handle it yourself. If you feel like you can do that,
absolutely,
we very much encourage that. Second offense, if you will, would be to incorporate the dean at least into the conversation. And if this continues to go on, then including Mike into it. And we handle it with as much love and care as we can, trying to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. And we will also include the parents if need be. So we don't tolerate it. It's not tolerated on our camp. We try to do the best we can to handle it with care.
And we're here to support you guys in all of that. You're not on an island by yourself. So we definitely want to help you be successful in all of that. All right, so we've kind of hit we really want you to be present and engaged and involved. That's the whole reason we're here, is to help these kids, and we are really reliant on you guys as volunteers to help us be successful in making an impact on these kids. So some more nuts and bolts kinds of things, just information for you to know, specifically about the cabins. You guys will all be staying in cabins. It's a out of your comfort zone opportunity to get to connect with the kids in your cabins and all that kind of stuff. But we definitely want to provide you with some boundaries and some guidelines. So first of all, in every building that we have, but specifically the cabins is where this will probably manifest, is we want to make sure that we do not have any adult by themselves with a camper. Okay, now that's not an adult with multiple campers. That's a one-on-one scenario. We want to prevent and avoid that sort of thing. So if you need to run back to the cabin to go to the bathroom or to get something out of your bunk or whatever, and there's a kid by themselves in there, figure out a way, get somebody there with you, whatever. Let's just not be alone with campers in those scenarios. Another time that this might be a situation is if you need to have some really important conversations, some great conversations with the kids. We highly encourage all of these kinds of things to happen, but we really want them to happen in public spaces, where there's lots of light. We have worked really hard at the camp to make sure that there's lots of light out and around the camp. So if you need to have a conversation with a student, go and find one of those places, or find someone and say, hey, I'm going to have this conversation. Can you kind of stay within earshot, within sight? That way we have no issues whatsoever there. With the cabins specifically, we do ask that you try not to be in the cabins as much as possible. We're here to do camp, we're here to play games, we're here to have chapel time, we're here to do all those things. We would ask that our campers are not going and taking naps. We'd ask that you are not going and taking naps, those kinds of things. Again, if you need a break, that's fine. But let's try and stay engaged as much as possible. Nap time, group nap time, whatever, is not what we want to have happen. We don't want our campers in the cabins by themselves. And so please help us with that.
Even then, with not being one-on-one with a camper, we also don't want campers being by themselves, like you said, with the nap or at all. Yeah. So, for example, if there should be multiple adults, multiple leaders in each cabin with the campers. There should be at least one of you in the cabin and aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
So not one of you sleeping or one of you in the shower, should be able to be present to what the campers are doing in the cabin.
Absolutely. All right, another area where you guys will be a lot is in our shelters, in our classroom spaces, or else in our small group spaces, where maybe your small group might be meeting, after campfire, or throughout the day at different times. And so just some simple guidelines, when you are there. Again, we want, if the campers are supposed to be at small group and in the classroom, that's where they should be. And so one thing, as you're going, when you have those times together, just kind of make sure everyone's there. It's always good to kind of have a little bit of a head count and a concept when you guys go to dinner or something like that. Make sure your group's there, always around you. But as you guys are having these discussions, these conversations with young people, you never know what a junior high boy will bring up or what he will ask. And so, with that being said, keep a good grasp on what the conversation's going. There are some subjects that are not appropriate for 10 o'clock at night in a dark shelter. Like now is not the time to dive into demonology and just the different aspects of all the questions that might, if a kid asks a question, you're like, ooh, maybe we should talk about this later, or maybe we should talk to the dean of the week, or one of the pastoral staff. Like, let's pause that conversation right now, and then pick it up maybe at a different time in a more appropriate place. And how these conversations can go. You might have life events that come up. You might have really sad things that these kids have gone through. And so really try to filter some of that. If some of the testimony that's being shared is starting to go south, let's just kind of filter that a little bit as adults. Use really good judgment, and keep that in mind in your own sharing, in your own bringing up details of your own life. We want to help these kids, but we don't want to go too far with even our own experiences. So let's keep that in mind as we talk through all of these different things.
For you guys who are new or to leading groups or classes, one big thing that we see really good conversation happening with is open-ended questions. So try to think, what is a question I can ask them that will not get a yes or no? Or Jesus,
or Jesus
as the answer.
Sunday school answer.
Yep, and that works for any age,
Yeah.
making sure that you're asking good open-ended questions and be patient with them, because it does take some time for some groups to be able to have discussion, and then some groups go way too far into it.
Exactly. You never know where you might end up with some of that. So another area that you will spend a lot of time in is our dining hall. We will be there at least 3 times a day, if not 10 times a day. We're there a lot, and if you're looking for me specifically as the director, there's a good chance I might be in the dining hall because we're always preparing meals and things like that. But as you guys are coming into the dining hall, there'll be different opportunities for people to come and jump in and serve. We may come out and say, hey, it's Taco Tuesday, and we need like 5 people to come in and help us. So if you want to come help us, by all means, come and do that. We have a wash station in the back that you can wash your hands. You can put on some rubber gloves. You can help serve the kids. We love getting you guys involved in making that happen. So just chat with us and we'll be happy to do all those kinds of things. Also, make sure that as you're bringing the kids in to the dining hall and you're getting your food and getting their food taken care of, all that kind of stuff, we want you to sit with your kids. This is great opportunities for you guys to get to know your students, to ask them what's going on in their life, what kind of activities they like to do, what they're enjoying about camp. These are all great bonding experience times when you share meals together. One of the big values that we have at our camp is that no matter what activity we're doing, no matter we're playing games, having fun, we're going to bed at night, whatever it might be, we want to make sure that we are always being safe. That's something we've spent a lot of time and effort trying to improve around the camp. We've been trying to make things as safe as they possibly can be at camp, which is always kind of a moving target for us. But one of those things is that if this is your first time at camp or haven't been in a while, that we have combined a binder that kind of has a bunch of information in it. So Emily, you want to unpack?
Yeah, that binder has all of our policies and procedures. So if you have any questions about how do we deal with this kind of discipline, if you will, or we have many campers that have bedwetting issues, or what do I do just in any kind of situation, that binder should have some sort of tidbit. You can always ask.
Yes.
But those are there to help you. They also have our tornado and fire routes. Our fire, if there was one, we all show up at the flagpole. Yep. And tornado, we have a tornado shelter that is near the pool.
Yes, yeah, down at the bottom of the hill. And in those situations, I would be in communication with you all like, hey, it's looking like we might have a storm tonight. So just be prepared. This is where the shelter is, all those kinds of things. There should be a map in there that if this is your first time, you can take a look at the map and kind of see where some main things are, again, like the flagpole or the chapel or the dining hall, all those really important things.
We're so excited for you guys to come out here and to experience what God is doing and has been doing on this camp for years. People have set the foundation, and you guys are a part of the camp story. Ultimately, you're a part of people's story and the story of the kingdom, God's story. And a part of that, a responsibility we have and a gift that we have been given is that, one, God is with us. So we are asking you as leaders, no matter what you're doing, to be attentive, to ask, where are you, God? To be attentive to what he's doing in and around you, to be attentive to what he's doing in these kids, and to obey, to follow, to listen, and to respond to what he is doing. And it will be the best experience. It will be hard sometimes, but it is so good and so rewarding. And it is a grace that God has given us that we get to be a part of this ministry.
And not only being attentive for what God is doing in your heart and in your mind throughout the whole process, but be attentive to what God's doing in your group and the kids around you. This is a really transformational time over the next week that these kids are going to have. And some of them are meeting God for the very first time. Others of them have grown up being a part of the camp, much like we were. We both grew up going to this camp and had so many different experiences throughout. And there's different kind of times and levels in which the kids experience different things. And so being attentive to what God is doing in those kids' life, and it includes having some conversations. And throughout this process, we hope and pray that especially kids that are not following God, they've not given their life to Jesus and entered the waters of baptism and done all those kinds of things, that would be on their mind. We want to make that on the forefront of telling kids and all of the people at our camp about what salvation means and walking through that process early in the week. We try not to have that be such a focus at the end of the week. So those might be conversations that come up. And some of you have been to Bible college and gone through lots of training and feel very comfortable having those conversations. And others of you maybe haven't ever had that conversation before. And so what I would encourage you to do, if you are sensing that some kids are thinking about making some decisions, or they're asking questions and you're not sure about what those answers might be, talk to your other group leader, talk to your dean, and we'd be happy to help you along that process, especially if it's new to you or uncomfortable in any way. Yeah. That's an exciting time to get to walk kids through that process. So we want to make sure that we do that in a really solid way and help them be successful. This is an amazing opportunity that you have embarked on to make an impact. I remember adult leaders that were at camp when I was in elementary school, when I was in junior high and high school. Some of them I still interact with today, and they made impacts on me many, many years ago, and that have lasted throughout and changed the course of my life because of the time that they gave and spent at our camp. So we hope that you have a wonderful time at our camp. We hope that everything goes really well for you. It's a blessing for you to be there. If there is anything that you need along the way, if you need a Band-Aid, you need a soda, whatever it is, we are here to help you. My staff, who you will meet when you come to camp, are here to serve you guys and make you guys be successful. That's why we do all of this, is because we want kids to have, and adults too, people of all ages, to have a wonderful experience, almost as if they were on a mountain. They were so close to God. They have this mountaintop experience with God during their entire time at our week of camp. We've been doing that since 1946, and we're hopeful and prayerful that we get to continue to do that for many, many years to come. So thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Bye.